Right in the heart of Jerusalem's ancient stone walls lies a gateway like no other, a sealed entrance that has stood motionless for centuries, holding back not just people, but powerful hopes, deep secrets, and the dreams of generations. This is the Golden Gate, also known as the Gate of Mercy. To the casual observer, it may seem like just another old relic carved into the eastern wall of the old city. But to millions across the globe, it represents something much deeper. Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike hold sacred beliefs tied to this gate, believing it will one day open again, heralding the arrival of a long-awaited promise. Why has it remained sealed for nearly 500 years? Who closed it, and why? What secrets might be waiting behind those stones? Before we journey deeper into this remarkable story, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. We explore history's sacred places, mysterious legends, and faith-driven discoveries, stories that connect our world to the divine. Now, let's uncover the layered truth behind the Golden Gate of Jerusalem. Set on the eastern wall of Jerusalem's old city, the Golden Gate directly faces the Mount of Olives, an area that itself carries monumental spiritual weight. The positioning isn't random. Jewish prophecy speaks of a Messiah arriving from the east, descending the Mount of Olives and entering through this very gate to bring peace and redemption to the world. Christian teachings echo this belief, pointing to the triumphant entry of Jesus into Jerusalem, an event celebrated every Palm Sunday. It's believed he entered through the Golden Gate, fulfilling ancient words from the prophet Zechariah. "See, your king comes to you, gentle and riding on a donkey." And in Islam, while the gate itself isn't mentioned by name in the Quran, its location near the Al-Aqsa Mosque and within the sacred city of Jerusalem has cemented its importance in eschatological teachings about the Day of Judgment. But the question remains, why is it closed? The story of the Golden Gate stretches back thousands of years. Archaeologists and historians have studied its architecture carefully, peeling back the centuries layer by layer. Experts like Dan Bahat, Leon Rittmeyer, and David Usishkin believe that while the current form of the gate dates back to the Byzantine period, around the 6th or 7th century, there are signs that it was built atop even older foundations. Deep beneath its visible arches may lie stones from the time of Solomon's first temple, or from Herod's majestic expansion during the Second Temple period. These were the very epochs when Jerusalem was the heart of Jewish worship, pilgrimage, and prophecy. During the Byzantine era, Christian rulers rebuilt the gate, believing it to be a sacred threshold where Jesus had once passed and would one day return. It was described in pilgrim records as the Golden Gate, not just for its physical appearance, but for its heavenly symbolism. Jewish writings like the Midrash and Talmud reference an eastern gate that would remain shut until the arrival of the Messiah. The book of Ezekiel even declares that the eastern gate will stay closed because the Lord himself has entered through it. The year was 1541. The ruler of the Ottoman Empire, Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent, had taken a keen interest in restoring and fortifying Jerusalem. He rebuilt its crumbling walls and oversaw many ambitious projects. But one of his most mysterious acts was the sudden sealing of the Golden Gate. He ordered it to be bricked up, solidly and permanently. Why would he do such a thing? Many historians suggest that Suleiman understood the gate's messianic significance. In Jewish belief, the arrival of the Messiah through this gate could inspire rebellion or spiritual uprisings, events that might threaten his empire's rule. By sealing the gate, he sought to shut the door, not just on a wall, but on a prophecy, and he didn't stop there. Suleiman ordered a Muslim cemetery to be placed directly in front of the sealed gate. According to Jewish law, priests, or Kohanim, must avoid cemeteries to remain ritually pure. Since the coming of the Messiah was tied to priestly rituals, the cemetery created a powerful barrier, both physical and spiritual. Suleiman's actions were not just about masonry, they were about power. In a city where belief moves armies and sacred geography shapes politics, the closure of the Golden Gate was a statement of dominance, drawn across centuries of prophecy. Few locations in the world carry as much symbolic weight as the Golden Gate. For the Jewish people, this is the path through which their Messiah will come to restore Israel, rebuild the temple, and bring lasting peace. For Christians, it is the portal through which Jesus entered to fulfill prophecy, and it will be the same path of his return at the second coming. In Islam, Jerusalem plays a central role in end times teachings. Though the Golden Gate is not named, the east-facing direction of divine judgment and resurrection mirrors many hadiths. Its proximity to the revered Al-Aqsa Mosque only increases its sacred status. The gate is not just an ancient wall, it's a junction of divine expectation. It's a place where sacred hopes from three different religions converge, often creating not unity, but conflict. The sealing of the Golden Gate has done little to quiet its significance. In fact, it has only grown in myth and power. Throughout the modern era, the gate has become a flashpoint, both spiritually and politically. Various nationalist and religious groups have attempted to break into it or symbolically reopen it, triggering fierce responses from authorities. In some instances, there were reported attempts to dig near the gate, conduct unsanctioned prayers, or challenge the cemetery's presence. These acts, though often symbolic, highlight how potent this gate still is in the modern mind. Israeli officials, Muslim authorities, and international peace organizations all keep a watchful eye on the area. The gate may be sealed, but its presence shapes policy, security, and negotiations. It's a wall with global impact. Despite the political tensions surrounding it, archaeology continues, carefully and respectfully. Researchers use non-invasive methods like ground-penetrating radar to study the layers beneath the Golden Gate without disturbing its sacred surroundings. Findings suggest that the gate has been built, destroyed, and rebuilt several times over more than 2,000 years. Radiocarbon dating and stratigraphic analysis support the belief that the foundation may date back to the time of Solomon or Herod, meaning this site connects directly to the heart of biblical Jerusalem. And yet, even with all we know, the biggest question remains unanswered. As the sun sets behind Jerusalem's ancient stones, the Golden Gate remains silent, sealed tightly, watched constantly. Yet for countless believers, it isn't just a wall, it's a threshold to destiny. Will it open again one day? Some believe its reopening would mark the arrival of the Messiah, the return of Jesus, or the unfolding of final judgment. Others see it as a symbol of peace yet to come, a spiritual awakening that will heal a fractured world. For now, it waits. Its stones whisper of past glories, of prophets and pilgrims, of kings and conquerors. It stands at the crossroads of hope and history, faith and power. And in its silence, it speaks louder than most places ever could. To stand before the Golden Gate is to feel the weight of time pressing against the present. It's to sense that something far greater than stone lies behind its closure. Whether you approach it as a believer, a historian, or a seeker of truth, the gate demands reverence. It has witnessed the rise and fall of empires. It has been at the center of sacred dreams and political fears. And even today, as its archways remain locked and silent, the world still watches it. Because maybe, just maybe, one day it will open. And when it does, the world may never be the same. Thank you for joining me in exploring this powerful story from the heart of Jerusalem. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world's sacred mysteries and timeless legends. Stay curious, stay inspired, and until next time, peace be upon you.